This past week, Micheal Pershan linked to a blog post that he wrote about this double bubbles shape. And in his blog post, he linked to another blog post which talked about the geometric construction of the shape. It caught my attention because this gentleman, Dennis Simanatis, said of the construction that it was so elegant that it brought tears to his eyes. So of course I had to go look at it. So here is what the final product is. And what I'm going to do three things. The first of which is to show the construction that Dennis Simanatis put on his site. And what it gives you is this construction. And I'll start off showing you how he makes it. What you need is a 60-degree angle. This is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. And I put tape on here just so that the equilateral triangle that has 60 degrees is more pronounced, so you can really see it. So start off by making two sides of that equilateral triangle. And then I need to make another one. And so I'm moving it over. I've got to put my pencil right here so I know exactly where to start with the pencil. So there, it's lined up, and I'll do another one. That's the first thing to do. Hopefully you can see that. The second thing is to find the center of a circle on the first line, and then find a smaller center of a circle on another line, on the next line. So I've got two centers of circles, and this is the outside edge of the circle. Now I'm going to connect these two dots and draw a line and make another dot on my third line. Okay, so first I'll make a big circle with this radius of the larger circle. Then I'll make a radius with using the radius of the smaller circle. And then finally, I'm going to make a radius with this dot that's at the very edge, which is on the last line. Okay, and that's the whole construction. The problem with this construction is that there's a lot of cleaning up to do. So what you want is to end up with this shape, the double bubble shape, which means you've got to get rid of all these other lines that are in there. So the second thing I want to show you is how to end up with just the shape that we want without making all those other lines. So what I'm going to do is come back to this first one that I made, and you actually don't need all of these circles. You just really need the dots. So I'm going to use my Sharpie here to make my dots, and I'm going to hope that those dots transfer to the paper below it because it's a Sharpie. Oops, it didn't. So, but I'm all set because I actually made one just in case it didn't go through that has the dots on it already. So these are the dots, I'm making them so you can see them better. So the dots that I used here were the center of the circles, the place where they all intersect. But I also want to use this one down here at the bottom. So I'm going to put it down here, and this is where the large circle, where it's another intersection point for the circles. So now I'm going to make this without having to make all those other lines. I'm going to actually start with the big one. And this will bring me down to that lower line. Now I'll make the littlest circle and start at that dot and bring me down to the intersection, the other intersection. And here's making it with the third radius. And there it is. Hope you can see that. Okay, now I want to show you something else related, and which is, let's say you wanted to control where this little dot was, where this little puff out bubble is. You want it to be, say, over here. So how would you do that? And the way you do that is to sort of just like estimate where you want it to be. So I'm going to make like a circle that's not very good, and here's another circle. I'm actually trying to do it as good as I can. And then I'll try to find, I'll say this is the center of this circle. Here's the center of this one. And now when I make my 60-degree angles, what I'll do is I will basically do the same thing that I did before. What I'll start off with, though, is I'm going to start off with making my the line that connects them. So this is going to be backwards than what I had before, and I'll make here's my angle. I'll make my 60-degree angle. There's the points, my 2 points, and then here's my third one, and this will go. Fortunately, this one goes off the paper, but you would still find that point and still be able to then make the construction like we did before. But now you've controlled the direction of the little bump. And why would you want to do that? Well, sometimes it's just nice to make a whole bunch across the paper and do things with them. So once you've got this down, you can do all sorts of things with these, and it's such a fun little shape. Put a little dot up here, and you can just do whatever you want with it. So it's a beautiful shape. You can have fun with it. You can be serious with it, but it's just fun to do. So I hope you make these. Thank you, Micheal Pershan and Dennis Simanatis.